One thing I do need as well is a bigger garage. Either a bigger garage or less minis. And we've got an oil leak. It's not a mini if it doesn't leak oil. That's what I tell myself now. Lovely. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. I know it's been a while. I've just been busy, but not only just busy at work and life in general, but I've been busy fixing this thing that is currently sat behind me, and I'm glad to report that it actually 100% works, which is unusual for a Mini. It'll probably break next week. But yeah, I've just been busy sorting out loads of little bits and bobs on the van. There's been a multiple kind of problems with it in terms of stuff that I've ballsed up on, new parts failing, so I've literally just kind of gone through it front to back and sorted everything out with the help of myself and some professionals as well. So before I touch on the van, because obviously this video is kind of mainly about the van today, I just want to say as well that this van is going to be at Bingley Hall on the 13th of March in the Pride of Ownership stand as well. So like I say, if you're interested and you want to see the van in person, like I say, it will be at Bingley Hall as well. Unfortunately, I'll be there as well. Not that everyone wants to see me, but if you want to see the minivan, it'll be there. But if you do see me and you want to say hi, come and stop me, and I like bumping into people who watch me on YouTube. It's kind of nice to see and put faces to names in the comment section as well. So yeah, I've got tons and tons of jobs going on at the minute. Like I say, the main one I've had is sorting this van out, which I'll touch on. I've got loads of little jobs on the Mark 1 going on. I've got the headliner getting done, I've got the Speedo getting refurbished, leaks on the carburetors, which I've had new gaskets and stuff put in. So yeah, that was a work in progress, and it has been sat underneath that cover for a couple of months now. It's not moved. So yeah, I'm waiting for bits to come back from Newton Commercials and bits to come back from the Speedo restoration guy. So yeah, in the future I can jump back on that one. Hopefully after Bingley, when all this is done and dusted, I can jump back on the Mark 1 and get that one finished off, and send it back to Minicanic, because that again has got some electrical problems which I don't fancy tackling because I don't really understand car electrics. I don't understand electrics in general, so when it comes to stuff like that, I don't piss around with that. I just like bolting little shiny bits on, or switches from 1964, as everyone takes the piss out of me for. But yeah, so that's the one that's going on with that's what's going on with the Mark 1. The Mark 3 has been sat in my little garage since the end of September. I've not even touched it. I can't even get to it because I decorated all the bedroom stuff in the house, and there's just like old doors there and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully when the weather picks up a little bit, because we've been currently getting battered by Storm Eunice or Storm Dudley, whichever one it is. So yeah, I've not had a chance to sort that one out, but like I say, I've been busy on this one. So with the Mark III, I've ordered a new carpet set, which I've got over there, and a few other little bits of interior stuff, like a new bottom dash insert. I've got new inserts around the Speedo binnacle as well, and I've also got the rear partial shelf. I've got a new piece of material for that because the piece of material that's in it isn't correct for a Mark III, so I just wanted to change that. I know I said I weren't going to start getting mad with this Mark III, but if you follow me for a couple of years now, you'll know that I just can't leave anything alone. So yeah, that's what I've got going on with those two at the minute. And like I say, this van's going to be at Bingley on the 13th, so I don't know where to start on this because there's just been so much going on. Firstly, I just want to have a bit of a rant about the quality of parts from Mini manufacturers. I've had so much stuff from Minispares when I restored this van. Like literally, I spent thousands on this van restoring it, and literally, I'd say 20% of everything that I've bought is broke. So I've had problems with the wiring loom, the little inserts that go in behind this Speedo binnacle, or the Speedo. The little connector thing doesn't even hold off. I don't even think I think I might have saved it up there. 2 seconds, let me grab this Speedo. So this is my old Speedo off the van. Again, I put a new Speedo in it, which I'll show you in a minute. So basically what happens is, these original kind of lamps, the actual retaining kind of clip thing, it's almost like it's kind of bonded into the plastic. And on the ones from Minispares, like when you stick that in, it literally just falls straight out, but the actual metal bit stays in, and it is the biggest pain in the arse ever. So what I had to do was essentially butcher a £150 wiring loom and then retrofit some of the original bits onto it, clean them all up, and like I say, luckily that's done the trick as well. Also, I bought a brand new Cooper S Speedo from Minispares, and the 10-volt regulator was broke straight away, so you can see where I'm kind of going with this video. But yeah, so I had loads of little problems with Minispares, little trivial stuff like the little hubcaps there. I bought some hubcaps, they managed to fit on 3 wheels, but then the front wheel, I couldn't get it on for the life of me. I mean, if anyone's fitted them, you'll know they're not the easiest things in the world to get on and get off. Anyway, I managed to pry them on. I'm dreading getting them off because I'm going to swap them to stainless ones. So anyway, I put a genuine stainless one on the front of the van, which I couldn't get one of them on. It just went straight on. So it's just little things like the Speedo turns up broken with like a 10-volt regulator not working, wiring looms falling to bits. I just had so much stuff with this van, and it got to the point where I was that pissed off with this van, I was actually going to sell it because it was just doing me head in. But I'm glad now that I've just shoved it away for a few months and just forgot about it, and then come back to it with a fresh mind. Because like I say, I'm sure everyone knows that, you know, when you're trying to put something back together and everything just keeps breaking, it feels like you're fighting a losing battle. But I'm there now, everything works. So yeah, it's all good. So like I say, the van's been at Mechanics last week, having a few jobs done. Freezing there tonight. Yeah, so basically went back to Mechanics. Now, when the van was sprayed back in 2019, it was done in single stage kind of direct gloss paint. Now, if anyone's had cars resprayed or you spray cars, what you'll find with the direct gloss paint, as it all settles, it kind of like, it'll dull off a little bit, and also there's a few marks appeared in it from where like they flattened it back, you know, to obviously polish it up and get the orange peel out. So anyway, I rang Mechanics, just told them what had gone on with it, and he said, yeah, drop it off and we'll sort it out for you. So what Mechanics have done is they've machine polished the whole van, and then I've been over it again at the weekend. I've spent 2 days in this van just polishing it and cleaning it up, ready for Bingley on the 13th. So yeah, Mechanics have done that. They set all my suspension again, because like I say, I had all new cones put in it, so all the suspension had sunk. So they've done that, done the tracking, and fitted, and done some bits on the inside of it as well. Like I say, what I'll do, I'll grab you off the tripod and I'll basically just show you everything that I've been up to. Right, okay, so the minivan. How good does that look though? Like literally, I actually love this thing. Now it actually all works and nothing's broke on it. I've literally just found a love for it again. Like I say, I got so annoyed with this van, with everything just breaking on it. It just got to the point where I just lost a love for it. But like I say, the love is back now. It looks absolutely fantastic. So like I say, bits that I've been doing, I've just like I say, cleaned it all up and got it ready for the mini show on the 13th of March. So what I'll do is I'll start on the sort of the inside of the back end, and then we'll move us way around it and get things moving. So as you can see here, I've got bits and bobs here for the Mark 1, I've got bits for the Mark 3 Cooper S. That's a good thing about a van, you can just literally just store everything in it. So yeah, I have painted inside the roof as well. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. It's good enough for a van anyway, like I say, and it's just had a real good clean in there. The headliner at the front as well, that is on my list of jobs to do. I didn't trim that headliner, somebody else has done it, hence the reason why I am not trimming the headliner on the Mark 1. I'm going to let a professional do it, because knowing my luck, it will end up like that, if not worse. Round the back, nothing's changed around the back. Like I say, all I've done is I've fitted the hubcaps as well, which I've been meaning to do for a few months. I was going to run it without hubcaps, but I just got fed up looking at rusty wheel nuts, so I shoved them over inside. As you can see, I've just been busy cleaning everything up. Like I say, everything's in there, all nice and tidy. One thing I am thinking about doing as well is changing these DSN door handles to the ones that are for a Mark 1, you know, like on the Mark 1 Cooper S. So if anyone wants to buy them, drop me a message, and like I say, I'll be interested in selling them, because if I can sell them, I'll then get some more original ones, because I liked them at the time, but I don't think I like them anymore. So yeah, anyway, on the inside, I've been busy. I have had some USB points fitted underneath here, so I don't know if you can see. underneath there's 2 USB points, and then there's a little cable which comes out near the instrument cluster as well, so I can literally just put my phone on charge. I've also as well fitted a 130mph Cooper S Speedo, so fitted that. The reason I've done that is because this van has got a 1275 in it. The diff is obviously not geared up for that original Speedo. I know you can get them changed and stuff, but the mileage had stuck on the kind of the counter, I think at 34,999. So I thought, well, by the time I get that fixed and messed about, I might as well just replace it with a 130mph Speedo, because the plan for this van eventually is to have either, like I say, a 1380 fast road engine in it, or I'm going to see if I can find myself a proper Cooper S engine as well. Probably like a Mark II or Mark III thick flange Cooper S block. I think that'd work really well in this van, because that's the only kind of problem I've got with this van now is, now I've drove the Mark I and the Mark III, it just doesn't feel like there's any power in it, but I don't know, I'll see. But yeah, I've done that as well. I've also fitted a MINIVAN phone holder as well, which is under my dash rail. I bought 2 of them at the time. I hadn't fitted it in my blue Mini, and then when I sold it I took them out, so I can only find one. So I've stuck one in this van, and then I might either fit one to the Mark I or shove one in the Mark III as well. It's just handy if you just want to shove a coffee in it when you're out and about. Like I say, it just makes it a little bit more usable now. It's got some USB points in it, and somewhere I can put my coffee. So yeah, that's basically the inside. What I'll do, let me shove the van back and I'll pop the bonnet and I'll show you what I've been up to under there. One thing I do need as well is a bigger garage. Either a bigger garage or less minis. And we've got an oil leak. It's not a Mini if it doesn't leak oil. That's what I tell myself now. Because I'm sure we all do it. We all chase perfection in 50-year-old cars and end up losing sleep. Whereas I'm not doing that anymore. Look at that there. Pretty bad, that, isn't it? I'll ignore that. Right, okay, so talking of oil leaks, I had so many little oil leaks on this engine when I eventually got it back on the road, but the majority of that is my fault. So that oil leak that you see there, the only way to fix that is if we take that engine out. It's the diff, is it the diff housing oil seal? Anyway, I spoke to mechanics about it, and he said the only way you're going to fix that, mate, is if you take the engine out. And even Paul said, he went, don't really fancy taking the engine out, mate, because he knows how fuss I am. And I just ran over that, and my missus is going to kill me now. Look at that oil on my wheel. Yeah, so Paul was like, yeah, I don't really fancy doing that, so I can live with it. Like I say, I don't use the van every day, so I can live with that and I can just get it done. Like I say, hopefully the next time that engine comes out, it won't be going back in. It'll either be going back in fully rebuilt as like a fast road engine, or it'll be getting switched out for a Cooper S engine. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. So other oil leaks that I've had and other little jobs that I've done is, first of all, I had an oil leak coming from the banjo bolt. So because I'd not torqued that up properly, basically when the engine was kind of under load, it was just spraying oil out, because I got off the motorway when I got it back from Liverpool and it was literally like oil all over the engine bay, and I was just like, where the hell is that coming from? So I cleaned it all up, and then I had another oil leak coming from the crankcase breather. Now the problem that I had with this is because I had this crankcase breather powder coated, the powder coating wasn't completely flat, so this mating seal there with just a gasket wasn't good enough. So what I did is I took the crankcase breather off, shaved all the powder coat off it, put a gasket on it, put a tiny little skim of a gasket sealer on it, and like I say, that is completely worked now. I've also ran a breather just to the atmosphere as well. I was running it to the carb, but everyone said to me it's better if you just run it to atmosphere or put a filter on the end. So yeah, I had those 2 oil leaks coming from there. What else did I have? Also the thermostat housing as well. When I did this, again, like I say, I was a complete rookie when I put this van together. I didn't really know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing now. Is I painted these surfaces, like all these surfaces. So obviously when I put that gasket on, the water was getting through. So what I did is I had to take all that thermostat housing off. Again, get a new gasket for it, and I put a tiny little smither of gasket sealer on it again, just to stop any water kind of coming out. And like I say, that's worked an absolute treat. So I've done that. I've also fitted a new choke cable as well, because the choke cable, actually for some reason, instead of going up like that, it had got
put underneath this cable here for the speedo, and it actually touched the exhaust manifold and melted it. So I just got a replacement choke cable for that, and that again has worked a treat as well. I also put some little bump stops on the front of the van there as well to stop the bonnet vibrating, because when the van was ticking over, it was just kind of like vibrating on the bonnet catch. So I put some of those little bump stoppers on, and again they've worked really well. What else have I done under here? Also, when I was gonna do the interior on the van, I was gonna do away from like the Cooper S kind of oval style binnacle with the temperature gauge and the oil pressure. So what I've done is I just blanked that oil pressure pipe off, but what I decided to do was actually run it again, because I find it's quite cool. Like I say, after using the Mark 1, I kind of like looking at the oil pressure and see what's going on. So I fitted that. So like I say, what I've done is I've used some braided hose, and what I did is I just kind of tie wrapped it underneath this clutch cable here, which goes down to my electronic clutch. So when you're actually looking down at it like that, you can't actually see it until you come to the side. So yeah, I've done that, and that under the engine bay is pretty much it. There's a few more little things I want to do. I want to change these hose clips to kind of like a more traditional 60s style with like the two bands, because they're just like a cheap nasty hose clip. So I want to change them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably got 6 or 7 of those to change in there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for under the bonnet. And like I said, I just give everything a massive clean ahead of Bingley, which is going to be on the 13th of March. So yeah, that's basically it on my little minivan. Right, okay, so unfortunately that's all I've got time for this evening. Hopefully you enjoyed a little update on the van and a little bit of insight as to what I'm going to be up to over the next few months, and hopefully this video gives me the mojo back to get back in the swing of things with YouTube and get uploading a little bit more frequent, as I know I've been pretty lazy about it. So like I say, if anyone's got any questions, whether you've got any questions about the van or Bingley Hall on the 13th, and like I say, if anyone I'm going to ask you a question now. Does anyone want me to do a Bingley Hall video? Because I know every year people say, are you doing a video on the show? But I never do show videos, so I'm going to be going down with my mate Alex Hart, so he doesn't know this yet, but I'll draft him in to be a cameraman if you guys want it. So like I say, if you want a Bingley Hall video, drop a comment and then I'll do one with Alex. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Like I say, if you have got any questions, just get in the comment section, and hopefully I shall see you at Bingley Hall next week. And like I say, if you do see me, stop me, because like I say, I want to see as many of you as possible, and like I say, put a few faces to names in the comment section. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you next week.